So I still remember the first time I heard Richie Kotzen playing guitar. I had a Guitar One magazine. Shout out to anybody who remembers Guitar One. And it came with a CD that you had to put in your computer in order to watch the videos and hear the audio clips that were inside of the magazine. And I just remember seeing this guy, Richie Kotzen, who was featured on it. I'm like, man, who is this? And hearing him play, and I'm like, oh, I like the way he plays. And then he launched into his legato stuff. And I'm like, I've never heard anybody play like this before, and he did a lick that really got my attention. I want to show it to you here today and show you what I eventually did to turn it into kind of my own lick. So if you want the tabs and all that stuff for today's lesson, I will link it all down below. All I ask, you do me a huge favor, just subscribe. If you like the lessons, subscribe, come hang out with me. And yo, let's dive on into the genius of Richie Kotzen. Let's dive into these licks. Now, recently, Rick Beato posted a really good interview with Richie, which is, inspired me to dive back into the Kotzen catalog because he has been a huge influence on me. I would say that 90% of, my legato technique comes from learning old Richie Kotzen, young guitar magazines where he would show you different legato lines, moving around on the fretboard. All that stuff. I used to work on all those things. And, I just love the sound and tone of his left hand. It's such a smooth sound. So the first lick here is based around these major 7 arpeggios, which is what my lick is also based off of that I'll teach you here in a second. But this was the first time I had ever encountered the way he's sliding in and out of notes, as well as hammer-ons from nowhere. I didn't even know what those were. And there was a video one time, an early Kotzen DVD, and he talks about how a lot of times when he's descending his arpeggios, he doesn't even pick the notes. He just hammers on to the note, and I'm like, what? You can do that? So trying to get this lick, I mean, it still doesn't sound as good as Kotzen's, but, all those hammer-ons from nowhere are in the middle of that lick. So the first one is based around this G major 7, and then I moved it up to an A major 7. Now, he starts here on the 7th fret of the A string. And you're going to slide from 7 down to 6, back up to 7, hammer on to 10. Okay, now there's our root note right there. Then you're going to go to your 3rd, which is 9th fret on the D. Then you go to 7th fret on the G, which would be your 5th. Now here's what's kind of cool about this first arpeggio that he does. Normally, if you were to continue, in a standard arpeggio sequence, you'd go like this to get that major 7. Rolling your index finger, kind of difficult. What Richie has done is he moved that major 7 up here with his pinky. So he plays 11 on the G, which out of the key of G, that is your major 7. Slides up to 12, which is your root, and then back down to 11. So you have this. Okay, you're going to pull off to 7 on the G, hammer on from nowhere to 9 on the D, hammer on from nowhere to 10 on the A, and then you pick them all again. So you have... So it requires a very strong, strike on the notes that you're picking to make sure that it carries over. Well, I went too far that time, but... Okay? Because what happens a lot of times is picked notes have this big loud sound, and when you're doing the hammer-on from nowhere, sometimes they can get real quiet, and you want to be able to hear all the notes equally. So this... They should be pretty close to each other. Okay? And then you just kind of get to where you cycle through it. And you can have a lot of different ideas with that one. Now that's just using that major 7. Now what's cool is you can move this up. Do the same thing up a string. So you can go... I think Richie does that in one of his licks somewhere. Now I use this like exact lick. I don't really like sit on it like what Richie will do. I like to throw it at the end of a phrase. So if I'm doing some kind of legato-y thing. I just like it to be like a little flair that I throw into something. But, you know, you could outline chords really well with this. You can do it like diminished. You know, lots of different ways to do it. But it was just one of those licks that really stuck with me. And what I liked was that half-step movement at the end of the lick. Now, what I did, and we'll hop over to my lick here in just a second, is I like the way a bend sounds, similar to a slide, but a little bit different. So that's the Richie one. There's so many good things you can take from that, and of course, I mean, all of his cool barring licks, you know, all over the place that he has. So there's the first one, and I'll show you kind of where I took the inspiration from it and made my own lick. Okay, so mine is going to also be based out of a G major 7 arpeggio, but I think it sounds pretty different. So you have Richie's, then you have mine. So to me, I can hear the influence, but it doesn't sound like an exact copy of it. Because what I liked was I liked to be able to slide into the note and bend it. So kind of like the combination of you know, I don't know. There's something where that bend falls and it's almost like out of key for a second, and I don't know. I just like the way it sounds. Okay, so for mine, what I was doing was, again, outlining G major 7. I'm just going to go right here to 14th fret on the high string, which is my major 7. I'm doing literally the exact same thing that Kotzen did, but, you know, and you guys can tell me if it just sounds like a ripoff, but I always thought it sounded a little bit different. So we're going to go bend it up, so slide into it, bend it up a half step to your root note, let it fall back down, pull off to 10 on the high string. Okay, now what note is that? That's just your 5th. Okay, going to 12 on the B, which is your 3rd. Then root note, which is 12 on the G. So I'm pulling off from that, getting my major 7 again. Okay, going to 11 on the G. Then to 12 on the D. 14 on the A, and then 10 on the A if you want that root note again. So okay, so even though this is outlining a major chord, I use it in like minor context too. Like if I'm playing like E minor. And so on with that one. But there's my lick. So hopefully if you dug the Kotzen one, maybe you also get something out of mine, which is directly inspired by Richie's lick. Alrighty gang, there you have it. Hope you enjoyed this. Richie is one of those guys that I think deserves so much more attention. Like I said, I just love the Rick Beato interview that he did with him. And I mean, I used to scour the internet trying to learn more about Richie. There wasn't a lot on him back in 2007, 2008, and then that Young Guitar Magazine thing finally made its way to YouTube, and I was so pumped up. So other than that, like I said before, if you guys don't mind, subscribe. If you want the tabs, I will provide those for you as well. And you guys seem to be digging the lessons, so I'm going to keep them coming to you. And we got some more guitar demos coming, nerdy Nashville stuff, all that. But most importantly, I just appreciate you all watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye, homies.